Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Your host, V&M General Manager Kevin Jean and Iowa Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff will keep you up to date on what's happening on the best lakes in the Arklatex region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, two guys who have fished at a high level with Pro-Am experience with ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers with a wealth of knowledge and willing to share. So pull up a chair, kick back, and see why so many anglers watch Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome to another edition of Tackle Talk Live. I'm Ranger Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean, and running the board for us behind the scenes, producing this show, Mr. James Stanfield. He stood up and took a bow. Thank you, James. And glad to have you, buddy. This segment presented by Toledo Health, the Boat Shop, 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors. And Kevin, today's show, we're going to wrap up V&M, the event that you were a huge part of that and kind of in charge of that event at Sam Rayburn. We'll wrap up the Tto Pro Tour from Lake Palestine, where I participated. And that is strictly, I use that term loosely. I fished, and that's about as far as it went. I will also tell you what's coming up in the month of October. And we've got a really good interview lined up for you today. Two guys, Ryan Williams and Carter Williams, Willman.
Carter Willman.
They're going to come on. They're the two guys kind of giving us the information today on the Brandon Belt Tournament and registration coming up October 1, Kevin.
The registration is this coming Friday, October 1st. For the tournament is February 3rd, 4th, and 5th of 2022. Probably biggest tournament of the year. First place, $100,000. They're limiting it to 400 boats. So I'm predicting it fills up in 3 to 4 hours. 400 boats, but with that kind of payout, it's an $800 entry fee, and we'll jump into all that and more with Ryan and them.
Now, there's also a side pod, isn't there?
Correct. There's a side $200 side pod. There's a boat is given away for the big bass. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in this tournament. But the main thing today is we want to jump into registration. Make sure everybody understands registration, how to do it, where to go register, and any questions you might ask. If you've got any questions, post them to our live feed. If we can see them, we get them up time, we'll get them over to Ryan and his guys and see if we can get those questions answered for you. But just want to break all that down, try to make it as easy as possible on everybody that plans on registering Friday.
Yeah.
So.
And again, the importance of making sure you don't forget. You better put an alarm on your phone or something, because
you better be ready. It's
probably
going
to be something that's going to fill out rather quickly. And if you want to be a part of that event, make sure you get signed up. And again, we'll get more details from Ryan and Carter here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to take another quick break real quick to recognize a few of our sponsors. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6, just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins, as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support Garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santone, Spro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49 or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Hello, everybody. We are Tackle Talk Live, and we appreciate you tuning us in today. With us on the Tackle Talk hotline is Ryan Williams and Carter Willman. I guess, guys, we're going to, real quick, we want to go over all the details with the registration for the Brandon Belt tournament that's going to be taking place. The registration date is October the 1st. I guess let's start out with the process. How, when, and where do we get signed up for this great event?
Okay, so we do have a website. It's brandonbeltfishing.com. On that website, there's going to be a big orange button. It'll be pretty obvious. It'll be on our menu across the top of the website. And if you happen to get up on the tournament's page, it'll end up there as well. So what you'll do is you'll just click on the big orange button. It'll take you to this one-page registration deal. It's pretty cut and dry. Shouldn't have any issues. Our website guy has done a bunch of stress tests on it and the system itself, because we know that we're going to have a huge influx of people at one time, so we want to make sure that it runs smoothly. So hopefully the stress tests have worked out well enough that it'll continue to work smoothly whenever we get everybody else on there to sign up. But it's a one-page registration. If it sells out, it'll let you know it's sold out. But it'll be, it's a pretty simple deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get on there, fill out, everything just like a normal tournament registration, pay right then, I'm assuming, and you're registered as soon as it comes up on the website.
Correct. And so it's an $800 entry just to fish the tournament. If you want to enter the side pot, which is the day pay, it'll pay out the first and second day. It'll be an extra $200. Kind of like I know a lot of guys fish the Texas Team Trail stuff. It's similar to their Angler's Advantage. It's just a little side pot where you can make a little extra money doing that. Or actually, in this case, a lot of extra money. So those are really the two things. You need to make sure to select if you want to be a part of both of those.
Carter, let's go over real quick just the brainstorm of this event. What prompted it, and whose idea was this?
Well, so it really kind of started off whenever Brandon started fishing during all the COVID stuff and they were out. We started fishing some little Monday evening bragging rights tournaments where Brandon had a lot of fun because we were always beating Ryan and everybody else we were fishing against. No, not really. We weren't beating them every time. We beat them times. But it really got Brandon's blood flowing as far as tournament fishing. And I don't know. I think he always likes to do everything bigger and better. And he goes as big as he can. And I think a big part of this was he saw a need for a tournament that could change somebody's life financially. And that's just the person he is. That's what he likes to do. He loves helping people out. Anybody that's from here, from Lufkin, knows that Brandon Belt and his family love to give and give and give to people. And so he thought this would be a cool way for us to benefit a great charity, which is the Father's Heart Orphanage out of Brazil that is desperately in need of help, as well as benefiting, anglers that are able to get the money. So I don't know. Anytime you talk about a tournament with Brandon, it's always, if it's his idea, it's going to be bigger and better than whatever you had thought of prior. So
go big or go home. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Guys, so back to registration on Friday, 8 a.m. Registration opens at 8 a.m. Click it, get in. I'm assuming that when you click the orange button, as you're saying, and register, and you pay, you're in. Because, this thing's going to fill up quick, in my opinion. But you'll know instantly if you're in, correct?
Hey, that's correct. Hey, Kevin, this is Ryan. Thanks for having us on. Yeah, so basically, whenever you get on our website, which Carter said earlier is BrandonBeltFishing.com, on the home screen, there's going to be a register now. There's going to be a scroll, like some pictures scrolling across. They're all going to have register now. So there's going to be 3 or 4 different locations that actually you can register. Just click on the button. So once you enter all your information and you go to submit the $800 payment or the extra $200 payment as well for the day money, you will automatically, like once it accepts your payment, you automatically get an email confirmation stating, that you are now in the, congratulations, you're now in the tournament. It's going to go over our different rules and so forth. But now in the situation that, you wait till 10, 11, 12 o'clock, however long it takes to fill this up, you could possibly be putting in your information and then click the submit button to pay, and it's going to pop up saying that it's already sold out. So that's going to be live, that's going to be real time. So when it's sold out, it's going to let you know.
Right.
Ryan, what boat ramp are we talking about going? We're going out of Humphreys, we're going out of Castle Boykin. Where are we going out of?
Yes, sir. We're going to be going out of Castle Boykins. Of course, it's a 3-day tournament, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday is going to be a trailering event. You can launch from any public boat ramp on Sam Rayburn. And then the top 20 are going to be the ones fishing on Saturday, and that's going to be a flighted event. So the person or the team in first place is going to go out first. The team in 20th place is going to go out last.
Any restrictions on who can enter? Pros, guides? Are there any guidelines on that?
No, there's no restrictions on that at all. We wanted this to be an open event because obviously it's a lot of money, and I think everybody, especially locals, want to beat the best of the best. And so if that brings a couple pros here for our local guys to match up against, I think most of the guys around here would be in the same general consensus that they would all like to have a crack at them and win $100,000 in front of them. So it is open. If there is a minor on the team, there will be a minor release form that we will also get to you, or that you'll have to print out and fill out and send to us after registration, all that kind of stuff. But it is open to anybody. Okay.
And Ryan, when we had you on last time, just kind of getting more into the tournament details here. So as you alluded to, February 3rd through the 5th, $800 entry fee, $200 side pot, weigh-ins at Castle Boykins. Big Bass is a Bass Cat boat, correct?
That is correct. It's going to be a 2022 Bass Cat era, and we're going to have one of the new Mercury 4-stroke 250 Pro XS's sitting on the back of it.
Now, you was explaining last time, Ryan, how the Big Bass pot works, because everybody fishes Thursday, Friday. Only top 20 fish Saturday. Kind of go back through that with us.
Yeah, so as far as the Big Bass is concerned, that's going to be cut off at the end of the day on Friday. Of course, if you have the top 20 people, that would give them a on winning that. If we continued on to Saturday. So basically, it's going to be the Big Bass of the tournament. Needs to be caught on Thursday or Friday. Right. The key thing to that is it does have to be alive. You cannot, if you bring in a 13-pound dead fish, and that's the biggest bass of the tournament. I mean, we're going to go to the next size, but
right.
It's got to be alive. I mean, the fish care is very, very important to us, and we want to make a point of that.
Ryan, what about percentage of payback? You're talking 400 teams here. And by the way, it's a team event, 5-fish limit. What percentage of payback are we looking at for the field here?
Well, it's actually including the Bass Cat boat. You're looking at 118% payback. So, all of the entry fees are going to be going back to the anglers in form of that's going to be cash or the boat, so forth. So everything that we're taking in, from the anglers is going to be, given back to the winners plus more.
And how many places down are we paying?
It was 50
places.
Okay,
yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah,
good deal.
All right, Ryan, fix and put you on the spot, man. So last time you were here, and Carter, you might can kind of give us a little bit more than Ryan did, but Ryan kind of snuck something in last time we had him on, and I really want to hear a few more details about this if we can, or if you got any more info. So last time he was on, Ryan, we talked about, or you brought up the chance or the possibility of the Brandon Belt Fishing Tournament becoming a trail.
That is correct. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing set in stone as of right now. I'll give you a little detail on it, and I don't want to talk too much because, like I said, there's nothing set in stone. But so here's our idea for 2023. So we're thinking about keeping the same entry fee, the same payback, which would be $100,000 a tournament. And kind of, of course, Brandon plays baseball and kind of keeping this in the sports realm. We're thinking about doing 2 divisions. Thinking about having a national division, or say a National League division, and American League divisions, to kind of be similar with baseball. But we're going to have, let's just say, for instance, the National League might be Rayburn, Toledo, and Texoma. And I'm just throwing those lakes out there.
Yeah.
The American League might be, Harris Chain, might be Pickwick, might be something else, kind of like, on the East Coast. And let's just say if we had, 400 teams in the National League and 400 teams in the American League, what we do after 3 events on for each league, then we would take the top 200 out of that 400, and we would actually have a championship, which would be the same entry fee. We're thinking about the same entry fee right now, which would be $800. So each of the 6 tournaments that are in the series is going to be $100,000 payback, and then the top 200, of course, from each division go to a championship, which the lake is unknown right now, of course, but that would pay out $250,000 for first place.
Wow. And as a guy that's fished, and Kevin as well, we both fished a lot of circuits. The one thing with, I know a couple of organizations, the championships always seem to be on the East Coast. Come on, guys. Let's flip-flop them at least every other year. Maybe over there one year, back over here another year. Do something like that, because that frustrates anglers from our region when we always have to travel 12 to 14 hours to a national championship every year. It just gets old. And you're fishing in their backyard, and we're never fishing in ours. So that's the only suggestion I would have.
Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about that, and we, of course, got out the map and looked at it. But what we're going to try to do is whatever lake that we decided to have the championship on, that it be, in between somewhere.
Right.
That way, Texas, the Texas anglers might have to drive 7 hours, and so do the ones, coming from North Carolina or wherever it may be.
Right.
So we're gonna try to. We're definitely not going to have it over here. We're definitely not going to have it over there. It's going to be somewhere in the middle where everybody has to drive.
There you go. Good deal.
I think I
like it.
Yeah.
Ryan and Carter, man, anything we're missing out you guys want to announce or make sure people get right for registering this Friday for the tournament, or you want to announce about the tournament, make sure everybody's on the same page?
I think as far as the registration goes, I think we've gotten everything out there we need to.
Okay.
One thing I haven't mentioned yet that we are going to do on our Facebook is so we've already announced we're giving away, or a Bass Cat ear is going to be for big bass, something that, like I said about Brandon, he's always looking for an excuse to give people money and to make people's lives better financially. So one thing he wanted to do was we were going to run a contest through our Facebook for, like, if you go on Bass Cat's website, we'll have all this mapped out. We'll have a video and everything explaining all this. But anybody that wants to can design or pick out the color palette for the Bass Cat ear that we're going to actually have at the tournament that's going to be given away for big bass. So We'll just have that little easy. It's super easy. And so it's just a good way to get families and kids and whoever else involved who wants to enter. Actually, I think it's going to be about $1,000 is what we're planning on giving away for that.
Okay.
Cool. That's a great deal.
Good deal.
Guys, hey, man, looking forward to this. And again, folks, if you're looking to sign up, make sure you set your alarm to go off on. And
you better be clicking register at 8:01 or 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Central Standard Time, because I know there's some guys from the East Coast and maybe even from the West Coast that this is something that could draw, just like the Bob Seeley Tour draws guys from all over the country. This is an event that could do the same thing, Kevin.
Ryan, how in the past 2 months, how many phone calls have you got?
And this is just a guess. I would probably say I've received roughly about 150 phone calls and probably about 200 emails. I mean,
yeah.
I know for a fact there's a group of 5 different teams driving all the way from California. Of course, they're big San Francisco Giants and Brandon Belt fans and so forth, but they fish over there fish a lot, and I mean, there's a couple of them that are sticks, so they're wanting to come over here and take all these guys' money.
Well, and that is. So now that all of the schedules have been released, this tournament is the weekend after the FLW event.
Oh, really?
Correct.
Oh.
Several of those guys will be sticking over, I'm sure.
Well, if they get in, yeah, if they get in.
I have talked to many of those guys, and I mean, just to give you an example, River Lee being one. I mean, I think him and Sheldon Collins are teaming up after the after that tour tournament, and I've talked to several of the guys. They're staying over. They're going to fish the tour tournament, and then they're staying. And they're going to team up, and it's going to be an awesome deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
It should be a great event. And again, and you're going to have people sign up for this that may not fish like a lot of the other major tours or circuits in our region. They just may want to get in because they want to. There may be some Sealy people that try to get in.
February.
Like
I mean, it's a great. I mean, for $800, you fish for $100,000. $800 team event, so it's $400 a person.
Yeah.
$100,000 first place. Everybody in the pros. It doesn't matter. Everybody's.
Yeah.
It won't take long to fill up. I'm going to go ahead and predict 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I'm saying, to fill up, if that. So.
Well, hey, again, guys, Ryan, Carter, we appreciate you too. Thanks. Great idea. Thank Brandon for us as well. And looking forward to seeing exactly how this shakes out. And maybe the following Tuesday, we might have you guys back on and let's just see how quick did it fill up, and is there any new changes or announcements you want to make at that point? And then we'll start to focus on the actual tournament itself from that point on.
Sounds great. We really appreciate y'all having us on.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was Ryan and Carter. Appreciate both those guys coming on Tackle Talk Live today. And again, just great opportunity if you're looking for something to fish that's something new and different for 2022. This would be a great event to. And I like the concept of the baseball concept of the possible tour down the road. It's not etched in stone. That's just an idea. That's want to make sure everybody understands that for 2023. It's something they're looking into, but I like the concept. I think it's a neat concept, and I think it'll go over big. So.
And Steve, right here, Mr. John Hill asks, is there an off-limit period for the tournament? There is. The week of. So Monday through Wednesday, my understanding, is off-limits.
So Thursday, Friday be practice days.
No, Thursday and Friday's the tournament.
Oh, so it's straight to the tournament.
Well, we should have asked him, but I was pretty sure that's what it was. And I'll confirm that here. I will confirm that here shortly.
I was going to look up and see just the dates on that.
3rd, 4th, and 5th is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's the tournament.
Was that March or February? February.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. If it's off limits, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's third, 4th, and 5th.
I'm pretty sure that's right, but Mr. John, I will confirm here shortly as we go to break for some more of our sponsors. I'll confirm when we come back. I'll have the answer for you.
All right. And let's see here. Let's see what else we got. All right. We're going to take another quick break to recognize more of our great team of sponsors. Once again, you're watching Tackle Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome back to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Once again, I'm Steve Graff, and this is Kevin Jean. And James Stanfield is running the board and producing this show. This segment presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, the Lakes Insurance Agency of Nacogdoches, Texas, and Lone Star Bass Trail. Kevin's going to tell us about that right now.
Lone Star Bass Trail is committed to bringing some different type tournaments here to our region. East Texas is more especially. They have another tournament coming up October 30th on Lake Nacogdoches. Make sure to like and click like on their Facebook page, Lone Star Bass Trail, for more information. Guys, this is a different trail that brings different types of tournaments. They had the Ironman Tournament back in August, which was like a 4-hour morning tournament, had a brief break during the middle of the day because it was too hot. Went out that evening for a 4-hour finale that evening. MLF-style formats for some events. He also is planning on bringing some events this fall to Toledo Bend. So make sure to check out their Facebook page, Lone Star Bass Trail, to follow everything they have coming up, especially for Lake Nacogdoches. Those guys over there, he's starting to put tournaments on there as well. So again, Lone Star Bass Trail. Check out their Facebook page for more information.
Real quick, it's time to recap a couple of really good events that took place this past weekend. One at Sam Rayburn, one at Lake Palestine. Kevin, of course, was in charge of the V&M tournament. And Kevin, I heard you had a pretty good tournament.
Awesome tournament. Before we do that, I want to get back to the question we have before we left. Mr. John Hill asked about off limits for the Brandon Belt Fish Tournament. It is. I thought I was right, but anyway, off limits Monday through Wednesday. No practice days. Tournament competition will start on Thursday.
Yeah.
So off limits is Monday, Tuesday,
no
and
practice
Wednesday,
days
the week of.
Right. No practice days the day before.
Correct. Yep. And Steve, yes, V&M Tournament this weekend, great turnout. Everything went very, very well. And you know, I did nothing. This Outlaw Outdoors was in charge of this tournament, ran this tournament for me. Everything's professionally well done with them guys. Right. I mean, we're a sponsor of Outlaw Outdoors outside of just our tournament. Hats off to Stacy and Clint for everything they've done for us. Outside of the tournament, with the tournament, everything they've done for V&M. And Steve, we had 87 boats, which the weekend before deer season opens, the TTO guys is up there. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's just September seems to be a good month for us. We'll talk about 2022 V&M tournaments here at the end when we start talking about. We got a date that we're looking into switching. But anyway, back to this one. I was pleased with turnout. I was pleased with the weights. Steve, these guys caught them. And I heard some great stories, at the weigh-in on baits and guys that's never used some different baits of ours before. And that's the whole reason of this tournament.
That's the purpose of
the
tournament.
So the whole purpose is V&M, we have gotten large enough now, thank the good Lord, that most everybody has some form of V&M baits they throw or in their boat.
Right.
But this tournament is to bring awareness to all of our product line, all of our baits. 2 or 3 years ago, I believe this is one thing that helped the Wild Thing worm take off at Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
Was the V&M Baits tournament.
Right.
Everybody just caught the fire out of them, loved the worms, and it has taken off probably be the best-selling big worm on the lake.
And you've had tournaments like this at Lake Fork.
Absolutely.
That were very beneficial.
I have. And I think if I had to pick the bait that I heard this past week, there's two that everybody said, man, this is the first time I ever fished it. Absolutely loved it. Caught tons of fish on it. The winners, it was one on this bait, and that is the V&M Baits J-Mag worm. It's a 10.5-inch, basically mag trick worm. Great bait, really, really good bait. But I think it opened a lot of people's eyes this week. I know the winners said it was one of the main baits in their arsenal. They also used a football jig. But first place, Brian Schott, Sam Watson, had 25.09, did have a dead fish penalty, so they weighed 24.09 to win $4,500 with a 7.92 big bass. They did win Big Bass Tournament. Had several 7-pounders weighed in. Second place, Clay Phillips, all by himself, 21.89. Third place, Kyle Dragluski and Easton Higley, 21.35.
What was the entry fee for this, Kel?
$100.
Golly.
$100. 100% payback.
Folks. I mean, you don't even hear that no more. That's unheard of.
So, but I mean, good day of fishing. It, fourth place was 20 pounds. We paid all the way down to 13th place. 13th place with $150 was $15.22. So took a little over 15 pounds, Steve, to get a check. Yeah. I could not be more pleased again with how everything went. The amount of fish that I heard was caught, and I was talking about the bait. So the one main thing being the J-Mag. And the other was the Thundershad Junior, which is our smaller swim bait that fits perfect on an A-rig. Great A-rig swim bait. I heard a lot about it. People was throwing it on an A-rig and really, really liked it. So, and of course the football jig. I mean, I know Clay Phillips, that's what he caught his second place stringer on, was a football jig. He caught his in Purple Haze. Of course, heard plenty about Gleason Candy.
Right.
Just I was very, very pleased again. When it takes a little over 15 pounds to get a check, Steve, they caught them.
Yeah, they did. And, well, it wasn't much different over there at Lake Palestine. Again, this is the Tto Pro Team Trail. It's a new trail, started this fall. This was the second event of 3. The first one was at Texoma. This one's at Palestine. The next one, November 20th and 21st, will be at Sam Rayburn. That'll be the final one for the year. And then they'll have another fall circuit again next year. This thing will kick in again. Winning this event was Russell Cecil and James Nitschke. They had, I don't know if he's kin to Ray Nitschke. That's the old linebacker from the Green Bay Packer days. A lot of you youngsters wouldn't even know that name. But anyway, James Nitschke and Russell Cecil won it with 41-18 total. They had 12.65 on day 1, which kind of put them at the middle of the pack. But on day 2, they whacked them 28.53. That's the biggest sack I've heard this fall up to this point on any body of water, including Sam Rayburn, for one day catch. And so that gave them, and they ended up winning $25,000 total. They won an $18,000 entry, and then they had the $7,000 side pots for a total of $25,000. Brandon Dickinson, Theron Caldwell, they finished second. They were actually leading on day 1 with 25-28. They brought in 13.56, had a middle of the pack second day, and for a total of 38.84, 39, 40, 40, 3 pounds basically behind the leaders. They won $19,000 total. Chris McCall, Tim Klein finished third. Chris McCall, the inventor of the Santone Swim Jig. A lot of guys know who he is. Great angler. Fished Toyota Series, Bass Pro Tour, fished several things. And him and Tim Klein finished third with 35.54. They had 15.97 on day 1, 19.57. Probably the most consistent team of everybody in this event. And I believe we had a total, I'm looking down there, 58, 59, right at 60 teams participated. And again, this is a closed event now. The field is set for all 3 of these events. You had to sign up in the beginning for all 3. And but just looking down the list here, Chris Wilson, Brandon Flowers, they finished 4th. Jarrett Latta, Art Blakelock, they finished 4th. Yeah,
tied for 4th.
Yeah. Tied for 4th. You're right. Did have a tie for 4th at 32.84, and both those teams took home $87.50 a piece. It's $8,750 a piece, and then finishing. Let's see here. 6th. Oh, well, also tied. No, where am I at here?
6th place?
6th place. Trey Hollinshed and Braxton Hollinshed. They finished 6th with 32.36. Sean Temple, Trent Menays, they finished 7th with 32.26. 8th was Riley Blagg, Keith Cullum. They finished 8th with 31.94. And 9th was Scott Burkett Hayden Burkett with 31.12 and finished in 10th. Billy Klein, Jeff Bridges. 11th was Jeff Stevens and Brian Clark. And the last place check, Josh Priest and Eric Wright finished 12th with 30.22 for a total of $2,000. They won $2,000 and based off the side pot. And again, some great anglers: Shane Campbell, Keith Combs. Let's see here. There were several, 2 or 3 different pros were in there. Of course, Clayton Bulwer, Albert Collins, they were always in. They're always a team.
Steve, this is a tale of 2 different days. You'll look as you alluded to. First place had 28 pounds on day 2.
Yeah.
First place on day 1 had 25 pounds. Look down at 4th place, tied for 4th place. Chris Wilson, who we've had on the show, Brandon Flowers, had 964 on day 1 and then 2320 on day 2. So it's one day you really caught them, and the other day you kind of have nobody. I mean, there was a couple, average 15-pound sacks.
Right.
But I mean, the 20-plus pound days could not. They couldn't follow them up back to back.
And I don't have a reason for that because the weather conditions were exactly the same. We did have a wind shift on day 2 back to the northeast, if I remember right. It was out of southwest on the first day, so we had a complete opposite wind direction switch. I don't know if it must have helped some of these guys in what they were doing on the lake. But again, there was some guys. Chris Zaldane was in this event, and again, Keith Combs. David Curtis. I mean, there were some big names fishing in this circuit, and
Keith got in it because they come into Sam Rayburn next.
Yeah,
He's in it because they come into Sam Rayburn.
Yeah. So, and Cameron Madison, I visited with Cameron a little bit. They had a decent day 1. They struggled on day 2, but again, some of these guys. It's just a very tough field. This is cream of the crop on some of these guys that are fishing this team circuit right here. And again, the next one, which is the last one, it will be on Sam Rayburn, November 20th and 21st. And so looking forward to that. Getting a little closer to home, thank goodness. That'll be, I'm sure, same turnout. Everybody's looking forward to Rayburn. You always look forward to going to Rayburn.
Especially in November. That'll be a whack fest, I believe. So.
Kevin, in October, what's coming up?
So this coming weekend, the Outlaw Team Series Championship. All those guys that qualify for that, and I seen Outlaw Outdoors listed out on their Facebook page this morning. Great turnout. They're going to have a lot of boats going on there. If anything is like the V&M Tournament this weekend, I think fishing's just getting better on Sam Rayburn. Be a great event. Then the following week, October 9th and the 10th, is the Sealy Outdoors Fall Shootout on Sam Rayburn. I mean, it's a typical Sealy event. I mean, I'm looking forward to
this one's always a 2-day
It's
deal.
a 2-day. It's a 2-day, and it's not to pay out like the other ones are,
right.
but the entry fee's not either, and nor is, the turnout's not as great because it's fall, but this is their new, I think, 3rd or 4th year to do this, little fall shootout.
Kind of caps off the year. Get ready for hunting season.
It is, and for him, it caps off the year for Sealy Outdoors as well.
So, hey, that's it. Kevin, anything else?
October 1st, Friday, 8 a.m. registration for the Brandon Belt Fishing Tournament.
Set your alarm.
Don't be late on this one if you're wanting to fish it, guys. It's not going to take long to fill up. I know it's 400 boats, but there's a lot of people wanting in on this event.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's going to wrap us up for today, and thank you for tuning us in. Please check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. What's the other one?
I think that's it. Google Pocket.
Google Podcast. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate James' input on that. And if you'd like to become a member of our sponsorship team, please message us on our Facebook page. Kevin will make sure he sends out a detailed packet direct to you. For Kevin Jean, our producer James Stanfield, yours truly, Steve Graff. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week with more Tackle Talk Live. Have a great week, everybody.